Today we are going to divide fractions. Now, I don't know if I don't think I've done a video of multiplying fractions. We do a quick review of multiplying fractions in this one. So if you need to know how to multiply fractions, go ahead and watch this and we'll hit on it in here. Okay. The reason why we have to know how to multiply fractions is because in order to divide fractions, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal. That's a really good word, really big word for flip. I always say we're going to multiply by the reciprocal or we're going to multiply by the flip. All right? So, what do I mean? Here we go. I'm going to take 3/4 and divide 2/3. Okay? 3 steps to this. There's 3 steps to keep this really simple for yourself. Okay? To keep this rule multiplied by the reciprocal simple for you. We're going to do keep, change, flip. All right? I want you to go ahead and say that to yourself. Keep, change, flip. Whenever we divide fractions, we keep, change, flip. What does that mean now? Well, 3/4. I keep that fraction the same. Change. I take the division and I change it to multiplication. Flip. Or in this case, the reciprocal. This is the reciprocal part, but the flip. So instead of 2/3, I change it to 3/2. Okay? So now I have 3/4 times 3/2, or 3/2. Okay? Now, to multiply fractions, all we got to do is just multiply numerators, multiply denominators. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I go ahead and I multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. So now I have a fraction of 9/8. That is my answer. That is my answer to my division problem. 9/8. Now, I'm not totally done yet. Because I go ahead and I look at 9/8 and I say to myself, that's an improper fraction. I can make that a little bit easier to read. Okay, so I go ahead to change the improper. I go ahead and I take my 9. I divide by 8. 8 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 8. I have a remainder of 1. So this is my whole number. My numerator and my denominator stays the same, 8. Okay, so I end up with 1 1/8 as my full final answer. Okay, 9/8 does the trick, but really to completely finalize that, I have to turn it into a mixed number. Okay, and we just divide numerator by denominator that way. Okay, all right, I'm going to do another example. Okay, remember our key rule, keep, change, flip. And I'll give you a chance to pause during this one. Okay, so you can go ahead and pause and try this one on your own. Okay, for this one, we're going to do 5/9 divided by 2/3. Okay, go ahead and do that one. Remember, we're going to keep, change, and flip. Go ahead and pause right here. You can go ahead and hash it out. So we're going to do our keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep this first fraction the same, 5/9. Changing my division into multiplication. And then I'm flipping my 2/3 into 3/2. I think we did that one before, okay? Now, I just have to multiply straight across. 5 times 3 gives me 15. 9 times 2 gives me 18. 15/18. However, 15/18, I look at that and I say, oh, you know what? There's a common factor, so I can simplify that. So I'm going to simplify it now. By dividing both by 3. 5 divided by 15 divided by 3 is 5. Sorry, my little horsey's in the way. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So I have a final answer of 5/6. Easy peasy. All right. Yes, it is that easy. I like if I was going too fast, just go ahead and slow down, or also comment, say, hey, Mr. Heineman, you're going a little too fast for us, and I can make sure to slow stuff down in my next videos. Okay. All right. There's still one more that I want to kind of do with you guys. One more kind of an example here. And that's the case of having a mixed number. So in this case, I'm going to have 1 and 2/3 divided by 2 and 1/2. Okay? If you feel confident that you can do this one, go ahead and practice it on your own. Remember, I always say practice makes perfect. We always want to practice as much as we can. Okay? So go ahead and pause there if you want. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this off. What I have to do first, because I can't flip a mixed number. I can't flip the whole number and the fraction. So what do I have to do? I have to convert to improper. So that's the first step in this process. Make these improper. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. So I have 5/3. Divided by 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Keep the denominator the same. Okay, now, I know what you might be saying. Mr. Heineman, you did not change this division sign. I did that on purpose because I don't want to get my steps mixed up. My first step is just to change to improper, just to make these improper fractions. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my keep, change, flip. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and get to that. So keep, change, flip. All right? Keep, change, flip. I keep my 5/3. I change my division to multiplication. And I flip my last one. So now I have 2/5 instead of 5/2. 5 times 2 is 10. Because I multiply straight across. 3 times 5 is 15. 10/15 is what my answer is, but I look at that and yes, I can simplify, so I'm going to simplify. Common factor of 5 for both of these. So I get 2/3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Sorry, I kind of squished that in there a little bit. Okay. Let me bring that to the top so you can see it a little better. So I had 10/15 as my answer. Okay. Divide both by 5 because that's the greatest common factor. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, so I have 2/3. Okay, and that ends up being my answer. Okay, 2/3 is my answer. Totally simplified and clear to go. Okay, so that's dividing fractions. Again, keep, change, flip. That's the biggest thing to make sure you remember. Keep, change, flip. If we have mixed numbers, make sure to go ahead and make those into impropers. Okay.